What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the regular fan show, NFL draft, NBA playoff, NHL playoff, all the great stuff extraordinaire. It's a Thursday. Vinny Fredericks, Bruce Juno back at it, as always, with plenty to talk about, breaking it down by fans, for fans here on the regular fan show. Bruce, what's up, buddy?
How we doing, guy? How we doing?
No, we're doing. You ready to watch draft day?
I am ready to watch draft day, NFL draft, big time.
Yeah.
As always, every year to be an NFL fan, a lot going on. Just a lot to look forward to every year, and you can't miss it. You can't miss draft day. Usually, every year I will watch draft day, the movie every year before the draft. Don't know if I can today. But I'm gonna definitely still try to find a way to. But yeah, and like you said, NBA, NHL playoffs are just heating up, just going crazy. So it's one of the best times to be alive in the world of sports.
It truly is one of the best times, and let's dive right into it there, Bruce. As like you said, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. We'll start with a little hockey, a little stick and puck, if you will. And this is where I mainly defer to you, but from what I've seen going around lately, it's been a good playoff so far. Not so much for your Canadians though.
Yeah, no, the Canadian. I mean, like there's positives to come away from what has transpired over the past two games. I'm just trying to get you into this.
Sorry, I know you got your producer things you're doing over there as well, making us all set up on the live and whatnot.
Are you in the TikTok? Are you in the?
Oh no, I'm not. I kind of forgot we were doing that.
No, you're good. Yeah, anyway, I was want to see what Jonas for you, but yeah. So it hasn't been ideal for the Canadians. Obviously, you fall in overtime. You force overtime in the third period, and then you fall to Ovi's first ever overtime game winner.
Yep.
Go figure. And then
Tony's in the chat. What's up, Tony?
Let's go, Tony. And then
Tony, the man.
All right, there we go. All right. So, yeah, you fall back on track. So you fall in overtime to the Capitals, and then you
there we go.
Last night, Logan Thompson, bro, he just stood on his head in net. Some guy trying to call me out on Twitter saying, "Oh, Canadians didn't do anything." Buddy, did you watch the game? You clickbaiter. Nice try. But I have positives. Moving forward. Was it the best performance? No. Did we play 6 periods of hockey? No. We played probably 3.5, and we still almost squeaked away with at least one win, but we didn't. But there's positive takeaways going into Montreal upcoming. But there's definitely been some good series I, yeah. There's been some good series taking place last night. Stars take a 2-1 lead in the series over the Avalanche. They haven't led in that series they've barely led for a minute. The whole series. They have barely led for a minute. They've led for like 70 seconds, I think it is, in that whole series. And they are up 2-1 in the series. They win in overtime last night. Tyler Seguin, Papa Ty. We love Tyler Seguin. He gets the overtime game winner. After they with like 30 seconds left, they get a 4-minute double minor high sticking draw blood penalty. 30 seconds before overtime. Kill off a 4-minute long penalty. And then Mikko Rantanen finds Marchment. Marchment finds Tyler Seguin, and Tyler Seguin roofs it. And RIP the Colorado Avalanche in Colorado. Unfortunate for them. That's a great series, though. I think that's the best. In my opinion, that's the best series going on right now. Kings Oilers. this has just looked terrible. Kings have scored 12 in 2 games. I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, Draisaitl's done a little bit. McDavid hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, which is surprising,
Yeah,
especially after being so close last year.
Exactly.
Like I just saw the clip pop up again of McDavid in the locker room after going down 3-0. And like, how do you go from that to now
Yeah,
being here
it's
now
not looking
and not
good.
showing up? He's the
I don't
last
even
guy I
know
would have
if
expected
it's-
to not show up in a playoff series.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the Oilers are playing bad or if the Kings are just that good. I mean, the Kings are like that good, but
Mm-hmm.
did I think the Oilers would, look like this? I mean, Skinner, buddy, you've let in 11 goals, and like you're an NHL goalie. I get it. You got Kempe and you got Kopitar and you got all these guys shooting at you, but figure it out, guy. You need to figure it out going back to Edmonton because I bet your fans aren't too happy with what's going on with the Oilers. So that is.
Yeah. Well, you get paid to stop
serious-
goals. You get paid to
Yes.
stop goals. That's all.
Yes,
We haven't even
this
gotten to
is-
the draft, and we're already getting comments on the Cowboys jersey. It's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Exactly. Cowboys. Shout out Cowboys. Just kidding. I was golfing the other day and I found I don't know if I told you this. I found a Cowboys golf ball.
Damn. Tony
And,
gets it. Tony's a good one.
I
understands.
put the Cowboys golf ball on the ground and I smoked it into the lake.
Were you trying to smoke it into the lake, or was it just a slice?
No, I was trying to smoke it into the lake. It was
That-
pure, dude. I took out my 60
that-
degree and I
That
sent
tracks.
it. I sent her to the moon, and it is now at the bottom of.
You didn't think your
I don't know what the
partner
lake's
would
called.
want the. You didn't think your partner, who's a Cowboys fan,
I
would
didn't really
want
think
the,
about it. I was having a bad round of golf, and I found that ball, and I was like, "I'm sending this to the moon," and we sent it to the moon, and then it dropped down in whatever that little lake is that was there next to.
I like what Tony's saying. It's probably not your first time smoking one into the lake, huh, Bruce?
Not at all, dude. Not as of late. Like I've actually been playing pretty well. My first round out this year, actually went really well. I shot like on. I almost had my first ever eagle. It was sick.
Damn.
I almost drove the green. It was like a 350-yard par 4, and I drove like the fringe, and then I chipped. And buddy, when I tell you the chip landed about the width of an AirPod case from the hole, I was like, and it was rolling, and me and my partner, because we were doing a 2v2 scramble, me and my partner, he sucks. No offense, Alan. He sucks. He's so bad, and he knows he's
Sorry
bad.
if you're tuned in.
Funny. But yeah, we're both like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and it just stopped rolling. So I was like, wow. But anyway, we got to go golfing sometime, Vinny. I know you don't golf, but we gotta
do.
get you into golf.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps telling me. I really got to get into it. The tough part is like, well, with golf, you got to play 3-4 times a week to really get better.
No,
At least that's what I hear.
Fun. It's about the experience. You just go have a
know.
good time with your boys.
I'd still have a
smoke
good
some
time.
balls with some clubs, and you're living life.
Yeah, crank a few brews, whip around on the golf cart. Like I'd have a good time regardless.
Exactly.
But
We'll have to,
I could use some practice.
We'll have to get you out there on the links soon. But back to the NHL. Something else that involves sticks. Well, I guess golf club. What?
Yeah, club stick, same thing.
The Hurricanes Devils series. This looks like it's gonna be over in 4. Devils look terrible without Jack Hughes. Can't really do much. Is it surprising? No. Carolina's just that good. They're real good. I have them going to the Cup, but
You got them going all the way to the Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I got a weird bracket, so whatever. But
What else is new?
Yeah, exactly. But Devils for Frankie G out there as a Rangers fan.
Our 7'6" hockey aficionado.
Yeah, I
Good old
don't think
Frankie.
your rivals in the New Jersey Devils are making it out of the first round. So a lot of happy fit people from New York out there, at least in that sense, because they did not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Battle of Toronto, Maple Leafs, Senators. I'd love to see the Senators come back and win it because I hate the Maple Leafs. I hate the Maple Leafs, but the Maple Leafs, the Big Four, are healthy. Ottawa's first Stanley Cup final in what feels like ever, and it's not looking good going back to Ottawa. I mean, they forced overtime last game, but Toronto looks good. Battle of Florida. Panthers just dookied on the Lightning.
Yeah,
Game
no
1,
shocker there.
6-2. Yeah, I mean, are they going to run it back? Maybe. I don't think the Lightning are going to go down without a fight, though. I think that 6-2 is kind of a fluke. Matthew Tkachuk with 2, Reinhart with 2. I mean, yeah, it's like the Panthers good, yes, but are they that good to be beating Tampa Bay by 4 goals every game? No. Like you're gonna see Tampa Bay come back and take a game or 2 or 3 or 4 and win it. So I definitely can see this one going 7. The Minnesota Wild, they're playing the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And all this talk about the Golden Knights, baby. Them Minnesota Wild ain't going away that easy. Matt Boldy,
Don't sleep on them.
Kirill Kaprizov. I mean, mind you, so I was all high, on Kaprizov. Okay, another thing. Our TikTok clip about Joel Eriksson Ek in the NHL playoffs.
What, 6 views?
It has 7 views. What? Anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that either. I was like, did I repost that? Did I forget to or something?
What happened? But anyway, shout out the Wild. Take one in Vegas, going back to St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I was high on Joel Eriksson Ek. He hasn't done anything for the Wild, but I mean, Kaprizov comes back, and Matt Boldy just becomes a Kaprizov merchant. So that's completely fine for all Minnesota fans out there. Eriksson Ek is their centerman. Don't matter. I mean, I'm still riding Eriksson Ek. We still, we're loving the guy. He's the man. But I love that whole line. Kaprizov, Boldy, Eriksson Ek. Well, Kaprizov, Eriksson Ek, Boldy. But yeah, Eriksson Ek hasn't done anything. But the Wild take a win, go up. I think they went up 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. And they won. They won 5-2. Yeah, go up 4-0. Matt Boldy, Foligno, Zuccarello scores 1, and then Kaprizov gets 1. And Kaprizov got an empty netter at the end. That's going to be interesting in St. Paul, Minnesota, in the hockey state. See what's going on. And then I think the last series to talk about, unless I'm mistaken, is the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. They're going back to St. Louis. Winnipeg, they might break the curse of the President's Trophy.
They're looking good, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're looking real good. I like St. Louis. I like Rob Thomas. I know
you did love St. Louis.
Yeah, but again, that was another upset potential. That was like right there with the Wild. I'm liking out of the West. I like the Wild and I like the Blues. And
I just think you love upsets.
I love upsets.
Going back to March Madness.
They also both
now.
squeaked in. Yeah, that's fair.
You always love going for the upsets.
Just like the Canadians, though. So, yeah, it's interesting times in the hockey world tonight. We got Panthers Lightning. It's going to be interesting because I feel like Tampa Bay should probably win this one if they want to go back. Or not back, but if they want to go on the road to the Panthers, knock down 0-2. Toronto, Ottawa. Ottawa's been waiting tens of thousands of years for a playoff hockey in their city. That place is going to be electric. It already is electric, but that place is going to be electric with Toronto coming to town, down 2-0 in the series. That place is going to be buzzing. Wild, they host the Golden Knights. Can they maintain this little juice they got going from game 2? Who knows? Who knows? And then the Blues, they host the Jets. I mean, God, can they get enough? Can they get goals past Hallebuck? And then can Binnington keep pucks out of the net? Because it's a rematch from the Four Nations final, and Hallebuck, yeah.
I don't know if you can hear, but there's there's that. I warned you. I warned you.
That's the world of that's the world of hockey right now. Quite a bit going on.
Yeah, it's an exciting time of year for
dude,
sports
it's a
in
great
general.
time.
I mean, when you got two different, I know you're big into soccer, but like I feel like most people, mainly focus on the core four. So you got two of your core four in playoffs already. Baseball about a month into the season. Always stuff going on
draft.
there. NFL draft tonight. It's just an exciting time.
Yeah, and it's a great time.
It's not so exciting for my Miami Heat.
I was about to say, we can defer back to you for kind of what's been going on in the world of the NBA. All I know is my Celtics are up 2-0. Kristaps got
shot.
Yeah, died, and
and Joe Mazzulla
on the
loves
third
it.
day he came back, and Joe Mazzulla
loves seeing him. What's it called? Bleeding on the court.
Going for the 19th, baby.
Oh, there's DJ in the TikTok chat. Banner 19. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. Yeah, your Celtics continue to dominate over the Magic. I mean, I feel like the Magic have a lot of really good pieces. I think Paolo is a stud, but he just doesn't have enough help. Franz is great. Franz is not the number 2 on a championship winning team. I think not having Jalen Suggs hurts, but was he going to bring you over the hump over the Celtics? No, not at all. So Boston, continuing to dominate. I mean, we'll see. Seems like every year they get some critical injuries in the playoffs, but they didn't have Kristaps for most of last year's run either. They really are that deep. They can live with that. No Tatum either. No one's really touching on that.
Yeah.
I mean, with Tatum being out with the wrist injury, at that point, why bother rushing him back? If you can continue to win games without him on the floor, I'd let him sit until Orlando shows that they can win a game. I really would. There's no point in trying to, get Tatum back too early and then you risk him aggravating that wrist. It's just a bone bruise. It's not like he can injure it that much more, but I guess it's all about how much pain he can tolerate. And Tatum's a little wuss, so he's not playing. No, he'll come back and dominate. He'll do his thing. Your Boston Celtics looking prime for another run at the championship. Knicks don't look great.
No,
after losing game 2 to Detroit. I mean, Detroit has led, if I remember correctly, Detroit has led pretty much every quarter of that series besides the 1/4 quarter.
Dude, am I wrong, or weren't the Pistons like the worst franchise in the league last year?
They were the worst team in the league last year. I'm pretty sure they set the record for consecutive losses last year, or they were close to it.
So
they had guys just take natural leaps. Cade Cunningham took a natural leap. He, was playing at an all-star level. Obviously, Jalen Duren continues to get better. They lost Jaden Ivey, which sucked this year because I think he would have been a big part of this run. Tobias Harris is somehow still doing decent despite, I just don't think Tobias Harris is that good, but he's had some solid games.
Popular belief.
Yeah. But, Detroit has been the better team in this series 7 of 8 quarters. Without a historic 21-0 run in the 4th quarter of game 1, the Knicks are down 0-2, going back to Detroit with no momentum. It doesn't look good for New York. I'd call this game 3 a must-win for the Knicks. Because if you lose,
Oh yeah,
You're down
100%.
2-1. I just don't see how they could come back from that. Like 2-1 series isn't over, but the Knicks have not looked good at all this series.
And honestly, with how Knicks fans were at the start of the season, that would be embarrassing to fall in the first round to the Detroit
it's already embarrassing. You they
that
couldn't
they
even make
lost
it
the
out of the second
game. They
round
lost
last year.
game 2.
Last year was, their year to go to the conference finals. They had a favorable matchup in Indiana. Brunson gets hurt. All the wheels fall off. Come to this year, wheels falling off again. Brunson, his ankle might be a little bit banged up. Cat needs to be more aggressive. I mean, what did Cat have, like 6 in the second half in game 2 or 8, something like that? He just has not been aggressive at all. And this is supposed to be your 1B to your 1A in Jalen Brunson. This guy's supposed to be your top star. That this dog, man. I don't know if you hear the scratching at the door.
I hear the scratching at the door. Yes, but please continue.
But the Knicks, must win game 3. Jalen Brunson, hopefully the ankle's all right. Hopefully he doesn't need to keep on foul baiting this whole goddamn series. I didn't realize how bad the foul baiting was getting until I watched a little bit of game 2, and I swear it's like every time Brunson touches the ball, he ends up on the floor. And that's not
That's kind of
basketball.
what the NBA is become. It's like,
and it's a shame.
and they call everything, dude. They call everything.
It is a true shame, but
Call everything. Bring college refs to the NBA.
yeah, but I feel like even in college they're starting to get a little.
I mean, they're starting to, but it's not as bad, dude. The NBA, like, that's why, like,
the
I
NBA is
still obviously
awful.
watch the NBA. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, dude, it's insane.
Yeah. The NBA is just terrible. But Knicks must win game 3. See if they can try to regain some momentum, because right now it feels like they got none. Pistons got all the hype going back home. We will see what happens. Who else is there in the East? I mean, Heat, Cavs, nothing really to say there. He did play him tough. They were within 2 points with 3-4 minutes left, and then Cleveland goes on another crazy run. They hit 11 threes in the second quarter. They just Cavs couldn't seem to miss. I don't know. They're about the only team that I see right now competing with Boston, but we kind of knew that coming into the playoffs that it was a 2-team race, Cleveland and Boston.
We're kind of both in the same kind of situation where you're Heat and my Canadians.
Yeah, and I'm glad the Heat lost out on their lottery pick for this. But I mean, I feel like they played them tough. You need more out of Bam. I think Bam had like 11 points, which is just not enough for a playoff game. Hero, I think, did solid. He had like 33, 6 and 5. Darius Garland is trying to say after the game that their game plan is to just keep going after Hero, as if Darius Garland isn't a cone on defense himself. I'm not going to say that Darius Garland is wrong. I mean, Tyler Hero's defense could be much better, but Darius Garland
he's also
being
the only offense right now for
Darius Garland being the one to say that is crazy. Sorry,
hey, Livy.
I couldn't deal with the scratching anymore. It's so yeah, he maybe get a win in Miami. I had Cavs in 5 in this series anyway. I'm not not unrealistic. I understand that the Heat are just not a contending team with this roster, but like I said, I feel like they played Cleveland tough. They certainly had a chance down the stretch there, just couldn't seem to get the shot. They were getting good looks too. Niko Jovic had like 2 looks at wide open shots to get them back in the game late. And I mean, it was the guy's first game back from injury in like 2-3 months, and he's playing the last 4 minutes of game 2 in the first round. Don't know what Spo was thinking, but I digress. Cavs will probably either sweep or win in 5. There's no real hope for the Heat in that series. Bucks Pacers. Giannis needs some help. That's all I
Bro,
can
did you
say
see
on that
Caitlin
series.
Clark at the game where they were
Yeah,
like throw it at the Bucks guy or whatever?
yeah. It is dope seeing Caitlin Clark at all the Pacers games. I feel like in Indiana, you see a lot of that coming from a basketball town. You know, Halliburton supports the Fever games. Caitlin Clark is always at the Pacers games. This is a basketball town where they support each other, so that's always awesome to see. Indiana probably taking this series in 6. I think I originally had Indiana in 7, but I mean the Bucks just do not look good. Even with Damian Lillard back, they just have not looked good. Wouldn't be surprised to see Giannis asking out after this. You know, he really might be the next big star on the move.
Yeah,
just because the guy has no help. I mean, they traded his boy Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma and expected Kyle Kuzma to be some key piece that helps you go on a run in the playoffs. Kyle Kuzma is not the guy to do that. I'm sorry. Kyle Kuzma is not the guy to go trade for at the deadline if you want to win a championship. That trade flabbergasted me from the beginning. I don't know how they thought it was an upgrade. And the Bucks are just in an awful situation. They have no cap space. They have no tradable picks for the next 6 years. You know, they're stuck with bums outside of Giannis and Dame, decent role players, but they haven't making a difference. And now they're about to get first rounded for the 3rd time in 3 years. So the Bucks are in a tough situation, but credit to Halliburton and the Pacers. I think he's averaging 12 assists per game in this first round. They're playing some great basketball, and we'll see. They're going to take on Cleveland next round, so that'll be a fun matchup to watch. But
yeah,
we will see. And then out west, what do we got? I mean, OKC, Memphis. I don't know if you've seen the scores of that.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say Oklahoma City's beating Memphis.
Yeah,
I don't even think Memphis takes a game at home. Thunder, if the Thunder don't win this year, I don't know if they're ever going to win. They are far and away the most talented team in the NBA, the deepest. Shai's playing at an MVP level. I can't see a team out there that can beat the Thunder unless they beat themselves, which very well could happen. We've seen it happen plenty of times. So Thunder continue to dominate the Grizzlies. Warriors Rockets got a little interesting last night with Amen Thompson taking out Jimmy Butler from behind. Little extracurriculars after that, if you will. But I don't know. Hopefully Jimmy's all right. I can't really say that I care. I'm used to seeing Jimmy Butler miss games in the playoffs. So
welcome to Golden State. Hey, Golden State fans. Remember how you were high on Jimmy Butler coming over? Well, welcome to our life, eh?
Mm-hmm. This is the Jimmy Butler experience. He gets acquired by your team. You think, hey, playoff Jimmy's going to carry us to the promised land, and then something happens. He rolls an ankle. I mean, to his credit, he's been playing well for him. He just always finds a way to get hurt, and I mean, this one you could make the claim it's a dirty play by Amen Thompson. You could, make the claim he got tripped or whatever you want to call it. Either way, Jimmy went down hard, and who knows what his status is going to be like for the rest of the series. But Houston 1-1. If Jimmy's out, I could see Houston winning. I originally had Golden State upsetting the Rockets in this series, but that's because they get playoff Jimmy Butler, which
it doesn't come out much, but when it's there.
Yeah. I mean, Steph Curry, but I don't think even Steph Curry is going to be able to do it without Jimmy Butler back. So we'll see. Rockets are a tough team to beat. I kind of feel like they're the Pistons, but 1 year ahead. They're young, they're gritty, they're tough, but they're kind of 1 year ahead to the point where they're at that competitive level. The Pistons might win the first round. Don't really see them going past that. Rockets, I could see the Rockets going on a crazy run and going to the finals, but
that'd be a fun watch. having
They're a
the
fun
Rockets
team.
in the
You know,
finals.
they are a
They're a
fun team to watch.
They're young. They're a young team.
Yeah, and I mean they're athletic. You know, like Jalen Green, Amen Thompson. They're a very fun team to watch. So we'll see what happens there. Who am I forgetting? Lakers,
The
T
Lakers,
Wolves.
12s. Yeah, my
Honestly,
buddy had
Lakers,
the
T Wolves,
12s
and
fives,
Nuggets,
dude.
Clippers. Those might be the two best series of the first round. Seems like Minnesota, LA is going to be back and forth, and Denver and the Clippers. That's the series of the playoffs so far for me. That one's going 7. I wish that series could go 15. Give me as many games between the Clippers and the Nuggets as possible. Because watching playoff Kawhi out there again, Kawhi Leonard with efficient, respectful hoops, well-mannered hoops. It's just it's a joy to watch. I feel like we haven't been able to see this version of Kawhi Leonard since like 2019, and it's like taking me back to the good old days. It's almost nostalgic. It's nostalgic. It's reminiscent watching Kawhi Leonard ball out like this.
It is fun.
Really,
it's fun.
Yeah, Tony Kawhi is balling. He had like what? He shot like 15 for 19 in game 2. Had 28, 30 points. Kawhi's been hooping. And then I mean Harden continues to do his thing. So
yeah, Harden being Harden. Harden doing Harden things.
Yeah. I mean the Clippers, I did not expect the Clippers to be, anywhere close to a playoff, championship contender. I thought maybe they'd be a play-in team, sneak their way into the playoffs. I mean, I didn't expect them to be higher than teams like the Suns or the Grizzlies and whatnot. But Kawhi and Harden started coming together at the right time. They got hot, and it really is like watching 2019 Kawhi all over again, or like you're watching prime Kawhi Leonard. He's finally not dealing with whatever injuries. Whether it's his knee, shoulder, whatever. He's always dealing with some sort of injuries. But right now, knock on wood, Kawhi stays healthy. I think that the Clippers are a dark horse finals team if Kawhi and Harden stay healthy.
Yeah, and if they don't wear themselves out throughout the series.
Well, yeah. Like I could see that team beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. I really could. But who am I? What do I know? We're just fans who break things down for fellow fans.
We're just casuals.
Yeah, we're just casual fans.
This isn't a very, I feel like we haven't had the most energetic of shows today there, Mr. Benny Fredericks.
I could certainly use an energy boost from our good friends over at the good old W Energy. And Bruce, if I remember correctly, you saved 10% on that tub of W Energy.
I did indeed.
How did you do that?
I used there's this little special code. It's only 3 letters long, and it is R as in regular, F as in fan, S as in show.
Wait. So you mean to tell me that if I go to w.gg,
take some right now,
I pop in a sampler pack to my cart, or a mystery flavor, one of the many, sugar-free, natural caffeine, dry scoopable energy powder. If I go to w.gg, get any one of these natural materials, and I go to checkout and I pop in RFS, I save 10%.
Oh yeah.
Would you look at that? How's that dry scoop, buddy?
I'm already feeling more energized.
You're looking more energized. So if you want to be energized like Bruce, go to our friends over at w.gg. Use that code RFS at checkout. Save yourself 10%. Whether you're getting your content creator sampler pack with your shaker bottle, 3 different flavors, whether you're getting a tub of your favorite energy powder flavor, it's got none of that artificial crap, nothing but natural coffee bean extract, cherry extract, that kind of stuff. That's where you're getting the caffeine from. None of that artificial stuff. It's got none of that fake sugar, none of that fake sweetener, all the real stuff for your energy needs, whether it's at the gym, whether you're working out or going to your job. you're gaming, you got a late night on Rocket League or something like Bruce does some nights.
Yeah.
I know you be cooking it up in the league.
Yeah.
If you need that extra bit of energy, hit up w.gg. Make sure you use the code RFS. Get yourself that 10% off. Bruce, we're both wearing football jerseys today.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that we coordinated or if that just kind of happened, because it's a football day, I guess, despite it being in the middle of the off season.
Yeah. Sorry, I think W sometimes gives me aggravating ticks too, to go along with my energy that we got going on. But shout out W. Yeah, we got the NFL draft coming up tonight.
If you didn't think that if you didn't know that W gets you more energized, you're seeing it firsthand right now.
Yeah. Yo, whoever's listening on Spotify is gonna be so mad right now when they just hear this over and over and over again. But
how it feels to use W energy.
Yeah, dude, just hit them with the yeah. But yeah, anyway, we'll head into the back half of the show for the day. Big day in the National Football League, which we personally haven't talked about in a little decent amount of time. But there's been a lot of stuff going on. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the world of the National Football League. And the biggest day of them all, besides the Super Bowl, is today. And that is the NFL draft, where the Tennessee Titans, in about 8 hours, probably 8 hours.
Yeah, eight and a half hours.
I'm going to guess 8 hours and 49 minutes is when the Tennessee Titans will officially be on the clock. So that'd be
8:20,
8:16, 8. Yes, 8:16 is my guess for when the Tennessee Titans will officially be on the clock to give Cam Ward that number 1 jersey. As he actually just got a notification, he is a minus 20,000 favorite to go first in the NFL draft.
Oh, jeez. I might have to hammer the Travis Hunter, number 1 overall.
Bro, Travis Hunter, he
I saw it too.
He wants to go number 1, brother.
You know what Shedeur Sanders' draft line
hella
on ESPN
Shedeur,
was yesterday?
What?
Shedeur Sanders at noon yesterday, his draft line on ESPN Bet was 8.5. I don't know what it is right now, but I know what it was. Huh?
To go like before or after pick 8? Yeah, I know exactly, because the Saints. Because people are now having him falling to the Saints at 9.
But, well, do you know what he's at now on ESPN Bet?
What?
21.5. Something happened yesterday. Yeah. At noon yesterday, Shedeur Sanders' betting line for draft position was 8.5. Now, I don't know what he is right now, but I saw last night at like 6 or 7 p.m. So like 6-7 hours later, he's at 21.5.
I'll tell you exactly why. I just pulled up the old Yates Kuiper, Field Yates, Mel Kiper mock draft.
Yep.
And I'm scrolling. And
I've seen some with Shedeur Sanders at 21 to the Steelers.
Where is he?
Do they not even have him in the first round anymore? That'd be a development. Everyone was talking about this dude like he was a number 1 overall pick.
They have him
like he was a lock to go top 5.
They have him. They have Cleveland Browns trading to get Washington's 29th overall pick and taking him at 29.
To
reunite with Travis Hunter.
Oh my God. But like, what happened yesterday? Like, I know they put out that mock draft, but what did Shedeur Sanders do?
I've been seeing so many Shedeur Sanders like highlight reels, dude.
I mean,
Like-
people were talking about this dude like he was going to go top 5.
Yeah, Shadour's
He was a lock to
trending
go
right
number
now.
3 to the New York Giants not even 2 weeks ago. And now you're talking 29.
The worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good. Anonymous NFL assistant coach on Shedeur Sanders.
So he just had an awful interview process is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And that was on Good Morning Football.
You know, I wonder how much his dad, Coach Prime, played in the interview process and really the whole draft process in general. Because he's going to be hands-on and he's going to be heavily involved. But
sources say that NFL teams are losing faith in Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders after finding out that none of his teammates went to his birthday party this year. I would not have read. I didn't look at the picture. And I didn't read the whole thing before I started reading it. I should have read that before. This is Bo Callahan 2.0, folks.
He is Bo Callahan 2.0. Got his jersey retired for what? For going 13-14? 0 bowl wins?
Yeah.
So Shedeur Sanders might have just lost out on millions, and I mean millions of dollars by having a bad interview process.
Yeah, this was Good Morning Football yesterday.
I mean, you
Kyle
talk about
Brandt
dropping from being a top 10 pick to 29. That's insane.
Well, some people just heard.
So there's got to be another.
I don't know if I can play this audio or if it'll be copyrighted.
Yeah. I mean, we can try it.
I'm just gonna leave it. I don't know. I listen to podcasts that play audio, but I don't know how you get away with it, to be honest with you. So I'm just gonna not play it. But yeah, that's what happened. An anonymous assistant coach of an NFL team said he had a terrible interview. He's entitled. He's not that good.
I could believe
they ended it with he's not that good.
See, to me, I feel like I've been saying this for weeks now that he's not that good. Can he be a good quarterback?
I think he is a good quarterback, personally.
Yeah, can he be a good quarterback?
Yes, because I do think he is I mean, mind you,
he's good, but is he top 10 draft pick good? That's where he was up until today.
Shedeur Sanders tweeted out 1 hour ago the word legendary.
That's not going to jump you up draft boards, Shedeur. I'm sorry.
And he made it his
on social media.
His Twitter bio too. It just says legendary.
What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything for your draft stock. That literally does you nothing. But there's got to be quarterback going ahead of 29 in that Field Yates, Mel Kiper mock draft though. Jackson Dart must have been going ahead of Shedeur.
All he's been tweeting for the past couple months is just every other day he'll just tweet legendary.
Again, can Shedeur Sanders be a good quarterback? Yeah. He can be good. Is he going to change your franchise in 2 to 3 years and make you a competitive program? No. I don't think
you never really know who it's going to be. Think about it. How many real number 1 overall picks, top picks really become Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, all these guys, they're not first round picks. They're not top
Mahomes
10 picks.
Mahomes was top 10 pick.
They're not. He wasn't a top 10 pick, was he? Oh, he was 8, wasn't he?
He was 10, something like that. But
I don't know. You know what I mean? But they're not top 5 picks. Sorry. You know what I mean? You get where I'm going with this. Stop calling me out. You get where I'm going with this.
I'm not calling nothing out.
What was he? I actually don't remember. So that's on me.
I only know he was first round because I just saw it pop up on Twitter or something the other day.
He was 10.
But yeah, there have been plenty of quarterbacks drafted not in the first round that have had plenty of success.
Yes. So
I've never understood the hype around Shedeur Sanders. Besides the fact that
I
besides
don't
the
want
fact
to
that Deion
say
Sanders' son.
prime.
Yeah, besides the fact that he played under his dad at Colorado and is a Deion Sanders, last name, like his
And
film
was
never
Travis
impressed
Hunter
me that much.
is Travis Hunter that good?
I don't know.
I mean, I think he is. Before I get hate, I do think Travis Hunter is that good. Did Travis
he
Hunter make
definitely
Shedeur
is.
Sanders?
That's certainly a question.
I
That's
mean, there's a lot of
to
questions,
think
but yeah,
about.
this is a crazy thing that's transpiring.
I also think
with,
a lot of
with
people
that.
are thinking back to last year's QB class and how good they were. Where, I mean, outside of Caleb Williams, who you knew was the number one overall, Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix had great years.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams.
Drake May did solid when he finally got the chance to play. Like there was a really good group of QBs last year, and this year you just don't have that. I mean, I don't even think Cam Ward would be a top 3 quarterback taken if he was in last year's QB class.
I mean, let's talk about Cam Ward for a second. I mean, that you can tell that obviously, I think it's pretty obvious that Tennessee is going to take him at 1. Personally, they just brought in Tyler Lockett.
Cam Ward was going on stream saying that Ty J. Spears and Tony Pollard are the best running backs in the league. You don't say that unless you know you're going to play with them.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
I forget what wide receiver it was he said, but he was like, AJ Brown's a dog, but he's who insert Titans wide receiver, whoever he said. Like he knows.
They brought in Tyler Lockett. They got Van Jefferson. They brought in Van Jefferson. You can tell they're trying to build something to proceed to bringing in a quarterback.
What they needed to bring in some offensive linemen. Protect that dude. He's not going to be able to do anything if he's got less than a second in the pocket.
I mean, they got Dan Moore Jr., they got Blake Hance, Kevin Zeitler.
Isn't Kevin Zeitler like 38?
Yeah, he's old. Whatever his name is. That's what I'm saying. Like,
they don't have that great of a line.
Like they're bringing in guys that could help, but how much help?
Yeah, Joey, Dan Moore not going to help that. You're right.
I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not saying these guys are going to be like the best offensive line in the league. I'm saying they're trying. I'm just trying to build a resume as to why it is guaranteed that the Tennessee Titans are going to select Cam Ward at number 1, which is already obvious. But I'm giving fact-based analysis on why this will be happening.
And you're right on that. They're clearly showing signs that they're going to take a quarterback. The question then becomes, does Will Levis get traded on draft night? Because I'm sure there are still going to be teams that could look at him as a backup quarterback. Maybe the Titans just keep him around as a backup. But
I mean, I don't know.
What do you do with Will Levis?
They re-signed Brandon Allen. They re-signed Tim Boyle. They didn't re-sign Will Levis. Well, I mean, he doesn't need to be re-signed, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of Cam Ward, like, is he going to come in and make the Titans a winner? I can't see it. I don't see there being a Jaden Daniels or a Bo Nix or even a CJ Stroud in this draft class. I don't see any of these quarterbacks coming in and making any sort of, immediate impact. Can they be great? Yes, of course they can all be great, but number 1 overall pick, I wouldn't expect Cam Ward to. I'd expect a similar season to Caleb Williams for Cam Ward. He's going to have growing pains. They're not going to set him up perfectly.
And think about who he's tossing to. No offense to these guys, they're getting old. Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett. I mean, Treylon Burks is young, but is Treylon Burks going to have a breakout year?
That Westbrook Ekine kid who's had a solid run last year.
Yeah. Do they still have him?
Joey just popped in chat, throwing to a bunch of unks.
Literally.
Literally. I mean, I just don't see Cam Ward doing much with the Titans in year 1. I don't see the Titans doing much for at least a
They-
few
they-
years. But
Even
even if
no, I wanna just stop you there for a second. Since you called me out earlier on making a stupid comment. Westbrook Akina is no longer on the Titans.
really
He's on the Dolphins.
he's on the Dolphins now,
Yes.
I didn't call you out on a
Yes, you did. The
Bad take.
Patrick Mahomes thing. Not on a
Yeah,
bad
but that
take,
was
but
just
on a comment that
that was,
you know I was trying.
that was a simple statement.
Yeah, and I just made a simple statement. Yeah, no, they're top.
Wow, they
three.
really let Westbrook Ikine go.
Yeah, their top
That's
three
insane.
right now is Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Treylon Burks, and I mean you could switch him with Van Jefferson. So unless you get prime Tyler Lockett, you get prime
You're-
Calvin Ridley.
You're not getting either of those.
Treylon Burks comes out of nowhere and becomes a stud, which I think he has potential. Do I think he has potential to do what, say, like Puka Nacua did? Probably not. But I
never
think he
know.
has he has upside. It's just he's with a currently poverty franchise.
Mhm.
Van Jefferson, he's never really had big numbers. I think he's good. He's fast. He can run an end around. He can run fly routes. He can run slants. He can move. But will he have a breakout year? I don't know. It really depends. Do I think he will? Probably not. Do I think it's kind of going to be, we're bringing in Lockett. We have Calvin Ridley. Here's two veterans that can get open,
Mhm.
that can help our rookie quarterback not do what Caleb Williams did last year.
Yeah, they could end up trading up and drafting a wide receiver too. That's always a possibility.
Yes, that is a very, very possible.
I mean, you mentioned that the Panthers might be a team to trade down. They could trade up, get a top 10 wide receiver, and a McMillan or a Matthew Golden. There's definitely a lot that could happen. Plus, even
I don't know if the Panthers will even trade down now, because if Shador's not,
yeah, if Shador's falling,
no one's going to trade up above the Saints if they don't think the Saints are going to take Shador.
Yeah, Joey's in chat saying Shador becomes a Steeler today. Is that really a good thing?
I mean, yeah, it's.
I feel like the Steelers would be one of the best places for him to go. Good system.
It's weird. It's because, like, with what's happened. Because there's been a lot speculation. Like, if Shador's still on the board, will somebody trade up with the Panthers to beat the Saints to Shador? But now if Shador, maybe it was the Saints assistant coach that said that. It was anonymous, but
maybe he did it to tank Shador's draft stock so nobody else would want to trade up, and then the Saints can just nab him up at number 9. Is that what he's doing?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's anonymous. I'm not calling out any assistant coaches.
That's a theory. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's theoretical hypothesi. Yeah. But I don't even know if that's a word. But anyway. So I think Cam Ward obviously goes 1. I think Travis Hunter goes 2. If Travis Hunter slides, I wouldn't mind him going at 4.
I know you wouldn't.
I wouldn't mind.
Just like I wouldn't mind Ashton Genty going number 12, but that ain't happening.
Yeah. Giants, probably Abdul Carter.
We know that Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter are going in the top 3. It's just a matter of where.
Yeah, and I think the top 3 are kind of set. I don't think that, and I don't really know, dude. Because think about last season, there wasn't really, and it was all kind of chalk until Michael Penix gets taken by the Falcons.
It really was.
And I think this could be another one of those. I don't think there's going to be that much,
I think once you get past number 4, because I would say even the Patriots are
I think
probably.
Will Campbell's kind of.
Yeah, I think Will Campbell's the pick for Patriots. Once you get to Jacksonville at 5, though, yeah, Joey's saying too, top 4 is locked. Tony, what's your team again, Tony? I forgot.
Cowboys.
He is Cowboys? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Tony, I would love to trade up for Ashton Genty, but I don't think.
But do you think? I think Jacksonville. I mean, I don't know. Like,
That's the thing. Jacksonville can really shake things up because I've seen drafts with Jacksonville taking Genty. I've
I
seen
also
ones with
see.
Jacksonville taking Will Johnson, Mason Graham. I've seen ones where they take a wide receiver. You know, Jacksonville can pretty much go anywhere here. I've seen them take Jalen Walker out of Georgia. Like with
I feel
Jacksonville, I
like
have no idea.
I feel like Jacksonville's in a great position to get a lot for their pick.
That is true.
A lot for their pick.
Yeah, if there
'Cause-
isn't a guy that they're in love with,
Yeah, I mean,
trade down, get a future first.
like, do I see them taking Ashton Denty? I definitely think they could. I'm reading something now. The new Jags GM, James Gladstone, he said intangibly rich about Ashton Denty. He used the term intangibly rich.
It's interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do they need him? You know, do they really need him?
I mean, who was the running back that did awful last year for him? That everyone was so high on in fantasy. I can't remember the name.
ETN?
But they maybe it was
Etienne?
maybe it was Travis
Jake
Etienne.
Bigsby?
No, yeah, I think it was
those
Etienne.
Those are their two guys.
I mean,
So,
I think Bigsby
I
did
mean-
have a good year, so maybe they don't need Genty.
I mean, realistically, I don't think Etienne's bad. I don't think he's a bad running back. I think he's
had a
good
bad
running
year.
back. I think that he had a bad year, and I think the Jags just they have nothing going for him. They don't
They
have
really don't.
because think about how much T-Law gets hit. Think
Mhm.
about like how much the defense is in the backfield of Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville needs to go offensive line. I don't think
Yeah,
they need
I
Ashton
can see that.
Denty.
I think they definitely need to go either trade down because either way, I don't see them getting a difference maker at number 5. They'll get a really
know.
good player, but not someone that's
Do they
going to
just
win
take
them
like?
games.
Do they just take Kelvin Banks? Like
They
I mean,
could.
'cause
I feel
see
like they
Ke-
could.
I see Kelvin Banks going top 8, top 7.
Yeah, there's that tackle out of Missouri too, Bello or whatever his name is, Armand.
Yeah, isn't it Armand Membo?
Yeah, something like that.
Membo?
I mean, yeah, there's a good few tackles that they could trade down and still get, but the
I can
question is
see the
how far
Jaguars
they want.
doing what they always do of going with the chalk, picking a skill player, and then not having any way to back it up, and then still being shit.
They also just got Brian Thomas last year in the first round, and he had a really good rookie year. But do you need another skill player at number 5? Like Ashton Genty is great. I think he's gonna be a really solid running back. But is Ashton Genty the guy that's gonna carry Jacksonville to the playoffs? He might be their best bet at a difference-making player, but
it
is that
won't
the best
matter
pick
when
for them?
think about it. Think about what they had. Like I don't think Trevor Lawrence is great, but I don't think he's terrible.
No, he's a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I just think he hasn't had a lot to work with. And now, he has ETN, he has Brian Thomas, he has guys around him that can make plays. Draft offensive line. Who cares about the chalk? Who cares about the skill position? Just get what you need to help your team succeed. And do I think they'll do it? Probably not, because it's Jacksonville.
Yeah, they'll probably go Will Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, like get something in a trade, because you don't have like a great receiving. You have Brian Thomas.
Yeah, but outside of Brian,
you have Gabe Davis, De'Ami Brown. Like,
isn't he still in Washington?
No, De'Ami's in.
Washington let him go too. What is it with all these? What is it with all these solid dudes getting let go?
I mean, what? Parker Washington, like
you're just throwing out names at this point.
I'm trying to. That's all I know for the receiving core of Jacksonville. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's realistically, if I was Jacksonville, if I was the GM of Jacksonville, I'm not trading my pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Kelvin Banks. He's a stud. Get some help up front. Allow, your guys that, go after, find a receiver you can trade for. Find someone who has upside or go receiver in the second round. It doesn't matter. You need help. There's no help. You're getting these skill guys. There's no help. Get help.
That's all they can do. And that's what, that's what everyone wants to do in the NFL draft. I didn't think about that either. Bears could potentially trade up for Genty. You pair up Caleb Williams and Ashton Genty. That's a solid duo. Still need O-line though. I could really see the Bears. The Bears at number 10, I definitely see taking O-line. But do they trade up without using that number 10 pick and then get Genty and an O-lineman in the top 10?
I think
we'll see.
I mean, mind you, I'm not an NFL GM. What am I talking about? But unless you're getting, gold, and unless teams are giving you, unless Chicago's trading up and giving you,
they'd have to give up next year's first or something. They got to give up something.
Unless they're giving you absolute you can't not take it. I don't know. I just feel like you gotta get help up front. Wait for the second round. Get a skill player in the second round.
Yeah.
Who cares if they're not a first rounder? Just figure it out.
You can get some solid skill guys in the outside of the first round for sure.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like they might just take Genty, but I feel like if I was in the position, I wouldn't.
Well, we will find out in just over 8 hours now, Bruce.
Yeah.
NFL draft starts at 8:00, and we'll be live tomorrow as well, and we'll break down the first round.
What happens?
Yeah. We'll see what happens, and then we'll break it all down. Our opinions delivered by fans for fans, because that's what we do here on the Regular Fan Show. Bruce, anything else you want to say to the people before we say goodbye until tomorrow?
Nah, have a good draft day, everybody.
Yeah, hope you all enjoy the draft. Hope you enjoy some NBA, NHL playoffs. Yes, happy holidays. Go watch draft day. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Bruce Juno, Vinny Fredericks here for the Regular Fan Show. Hit that like, follow, subscribe, all that great stuff. Really does mean a lot. And we'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. with more by the fans for the fans. Peace out, everybody.
Take care, y'all.